Yeah, it's exasperating. Well, here we go.
By the way, if
Jan
Alireza-
has the white pieces against Alireza. Yep,
If Alireza wins and Wesley loses, Alireza wins
It's
the
done.
tournament in this round.
got it. And here
Let's
we
see.
go. English, 4 knights with G3.
I think Nepo changed his shirt. I think it was the unlucky shirt. He was wearing
I
something
honestly
orange,
think
right?
so, yeah. I honestly think so.
Boy, they're blitzing out Queen C2 and Knight B4 as if this is all routine. Peter, is it routine?
Well, up to Bishop C5 is arguably the most topical position of the English opening today. But Queen C2 is a rare move to a degree. But I'm pretty sure that all of these players have analyzed pretty much every single option White has after Bishop G2, Bishop C5 on move 7. And Queen C2, of course, is one of them. It's a square to which the queen often belongs.
Yeah.
Knight GB4 makes sense as well, because we're moving it away. It has to go to some awkward squares like B1. And we're waiting for A3, and then we will happily put our piece back on the good D5 square.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like nothing of value was lost for black here.
Just of the inclusions of the Knight B4 and Queen B1.
I was expecting B4.
Somehow me too. I was even expecting somehow E3 or Rook D1. But D2, D3 was a Nepo's choice.
I guess he wants the bishop to go
Reverse
to
Sicilian.
D2.
Yeah, reverse Sicilian.
Reverse Sicilian, but with queen on B1. So.
Right. The move H7, H6 could easily be identified as a prelude to F5. You don't want to encourage knight to G5 when your king is still on G8. Had Alireza played king H8 as well, that's where F5 really
You can
comes
still
through.
play F5 and on knight C5, maybe just take.
Yeah, this is sometimes something that black sometimes does, and the position does become somewhat more unbalanced than usual, because the pawn on E5 could become a target. White will probably develop the bishop to B2. Instead, Alireza goes with A5, B5, knight D4 probably was completely fine, which is why Jan goes with B takes A5.
But the Valbarge is completely dropped. F5 is trapping the knight. Knight's hanging.
Knight D2, knight... Oh.
Blunder alert. Oh.
Knight D2, knight C3,
Knight D2, knight C3, yeah.
Oh.
The knight does have squares, but now knight D2, knight C3 is incredibly strong.
Oops.
Yeah, not having knight C5 as an option has been a massive, massive change, of course. And Jan, yeah,
I mean, this horrible streak continues.
yeah, is liable to continue here, because after knight C3, we still cannot really take on B7, because knight takes A5, and the queen has to drop back to B2. You are in... I mean, it's probably the best he has.
B7.
It's probably the best he has, but it's very, very bad.
Wow. Simply
I do see
wow.
a question mark next to bishop D5.
Yeah,
but
queen D7 was strong. After bishop D5, black is still much better, but after queen D7, the engine was suggesting black is basically winning. Now we go queen B1, queen C2,
B1,
and...
right? Sorry, that was...
Black's much better, but maybe not winning
Yeah.
yet.
Well, queen B1, bishop B2, I feel I can actually fight my way to some kind of because I will have counterplay against the E5 pawn, but queen B1 is required now.
Why not queen B2 immediately?
I'm a little bit worried about bishop F6. A little
yeah,
bit.
it's
Yeah, just
unpleasant.
yeah, I would rather see my bishop coming to the B2 square, not my queen.
It's just happened. Everything happened so quickly.
Indeed, I mean, he played BA5 like, what? He's,
Rook E1,
wow.
As you can see,
Another blunder. What is going on?
Queen,
Rook
knight
E8.
B4.
Knight C to D4.
Knight B4 wins the queen.
Queen
Which one?
B5.
Knight C3.
Sorry. What
Knight
was the queen?
B4, queen B5, knight C3, and queen is trapped.
There might be other things as well, but this is what I sort of noticed immediately.
Hello.
I'm guessing knight before we take on A8, but it looks horrible.
Wow.
We take on A8, take on B4,
I think
pretend
knight
that this is...
C to D4 is also trapping the queen. Queen B2, rook B8.
Yeah. Yeah, Rook
Where
E1
do you
is
Rook E1
basically a
is
move
awful.
of a man who is very done with the day.
Yeah, he's just...
And just to repeat again, if Firouzja wins this, and looks like he will, and Wesley loses, the tournament's over. And I'm hearing that right now Wesley is about equal, so it's not over yet.
Mathematically, he hasn't secured clear first, but I think we can...
Yeah, knight b4 on the board. And the issue is, if you take on a8, we take with the queen.
Sorry, I don't think knight b4 is on the board. I think that was actually me, but...
It's not?
Oops.
No, it hasn't been played yet.
It is on my screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not on mine. I think your screen sees the future.
Yeah.
I think I saw him play it, and I saw Jan kind of react to it, so I'm pretty sure I'm not hallucinating, although it's been a longish day, and I could already be seeing things. No, I can never rule it out.
Our boards are frozen.
Our boards are frozen. We may have to rely upon your
He's
board.
done it, right? He's up. He won the queen.
Yeah, queen e8, and now, unfortunately for him...
Screen.
Yeah, sure. I also don't seem to... maybe we can maximize the board, and then I can...
See the players, so we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Make sure. Here we
So he's gone queen takes d5 and rook takes e2, and yeah, but he has two pieces for the queen, and for the time being, stabilized to a degree. But of course, 2 pieces for the queen is not enough. Black, as long as Alireza keeps this under control, Black should be winning this.
And we're up to date.
Yeah, we're good. I've got my screen is back. I want to say knight c3,
Rook e1.
rook
I think bishop
a5.
e5, queen d4. There's got to be some more tactics.
Yeah, right.
Black who can pick up more pieces.
You would think so, right?
Knight c3 on
So
the board.
knight c3. I'm
Rook
assuming
e3.
rook e1.
Rook e1 or rook e3, I don't know which one I like. Yeah, I guess rook
Rook
e1
e3.
maybe.
I might be.
Yeah, why allow
getting you
knight d1?
from
Yeah,
behind?
Yeah, completely agree. Allowing knight d1 is
So we think rook
unnecessary.
e1.
Yeah.
We think rook a5.
Knight takes c4.
Bishop
He's going
e5.
bishop e5 first, and
Knight
then...
d1 is still a good move.
Ah, interesting. He decided to give up the exchange on a8, but to completely dominate on the last square, kind of switch to the tactical way of conversion instead of preserving all the material. He just wants to get rid of good pieces for white.
I do like this decision as well.
Yeah.
You're inviting. Sometimes one of the best things you can do when you're material ahead is give some of it back on your terms. And in this particular
Take
case,
your opponent's best piece, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah. And I still think, because white rooks are so separated and unprotected, something's going to get lost.
And
Yeah, Jan, I think understandably, doesn't even take on a8. I think that bishop on g2 is way too important right now to...
Right.
But knight d1 right now?
Ooh, that's a good move.
Knight
Knight
e4
e4.
played, yeah, allowing bishop e3. The difference, I guess, is knight d1 was stopping bishop e3.
Right.
I mean, it's still bad, but
Still.
in a blitz game, you can sort of see how this becomes a bit tricky. The a5 pawn is still alive. I think.
Is it rook a5 right now?
Yeah, I was
And then
about
queen
to
c3,
say,
yeah. That's pretty cute, yeah.
We got the double attack, and then
Rook f8 looks good too. I mean,
Yeah.
everything looks good.
everything does look good. But the a5 pawn does concern me, because if there's a way that white can fight his way back into the game, it's by getting the pawn to a7. Oh, by the way, c5.
c5 chosen, yeah, also
That's a
understandable,
good
cutting off the white pieces from the a5 pawn. You don't particularly want to play bishop takes c5, but maybe you have to.
Bishop
No,
f1?
Bishop
Jan
takes
disagrees,
c5.
goes bishop f1.
Bishop takes c5, queens.
Knight takes
then
f2,
bishop
king
to
g2 is a trap here, right?
Uh-huh.
That might actually cost black that knight. Rook c1, queen takes a3, I guess is the plan.
c1, queen takes a3.
Just continuing to calmly collect material on the other side of the board. Yeah, you have bishop c4 check, but h7 is a very safe square for the king. It doesn't seem to be doing very much.
Right.
Elsewhere, Prague is kind of better against Wesley, so it might actually be the end of the fight for first, such as it is, frankly.
The fight for first, the fight for third between Hikaru and Levon is definitely game on.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're playing each other. Levon
Yeah.
had a very nice position, but he seems to have stumbled a bit and is now far less clear.
I think
King
if Wesley loses
G2.
fight for second could also be interesting. Maybe someone can catch him as well.
King g2, rook takes a5. Let's go. scoop up the pawns where you can.
So what's the material? Queen and pawn for...
2 pieces.
Oh, just 2 pieces.
Well, I think Jan is losing. He's down on the material. He's down on the clock. Why don't we go to the Wesley game as we see the fight for second?
No, maybe we should stay here.
We should stay here?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was...
You're excited.
Well,
I
the
think
fights for
Prague is much
second
better.
and third are really flaring. Bishop to c4? Okay. So bishop e6 on a good day, h4, h5 on a good day. Okay, you
On the best
tickle.
day, if I give you everything, it's still lost.
Most likely, yeah. I'm in agreement with that statement.
And
Still
the clock.
some
Okay.
tricks that you have to be careful for.
30 seconds against 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
C1. 86. Move the bishop, I can push the pawn, c4.
Uh-huh. And then also offer trading of rooks. I was about to say, do I have a chance to play bishop e6 or not? But I still like your move c4 very much.
I think we're about to see that.
Yeah.
c4, bishop c2, quickly played.
Well, trade. No? I was about to say rook takes e5. Get rid of that active rook. He didn't do it.
You can play rook e8, yeah, and just force the trade.
Rook e8. I said, no, bishop takes f5 check. But
Defend it with
it
the
is
other
dependent.
rook.
Yes.
Yeah, the best piece is about to be traded, and Nepo
There
really
it
doesn't
goes.
have much counterplay left.
Knight d6.
Rook d5. I mean, in time trouble, there's always a chance to blunder. But
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
it's kind of regrettable because White now has beautiful coordination. Everything protects everything.
He just has no piece and
Yeah,
no queen.
If only the early parts of this game weren't as disastrous as they were.
Right?
Yeah. Queen a8 maybe, or queen a5. Yeah, you can choose. There we go.
E8, yeah, that's a good
There
square.
we go.
By the way, threatening a discover check against the king. And you don't really want to do anything with the king.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
queen is now back to good squares. We can go
Right.
knight e4, and we start to shift the white pieces. Yeah, once you have to trade one of the bishops, the game is completely over.
Then it's done.
Now we can switch to the mating attack
Isn't there a
against with rook
checkmate?
d1, queen g4,
Queen
or
G4,
something.
right?
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, Wesley lost. Prague won his game. So let's go to
Wow.
Firouzja. If he wins now, that's it.
Well, we'll
He's the
stay with-
champion.
And Lev is beating Hikaru.
C4.
Oh, that's a good move.
And congrats to Alireza,
That does it. As
winning the tournament with 2 rounds to spare.
impressive.
Very impressive. Especially in Blitz, his result, just win it, just crushed everyone.
Indeed. Let's